very well known and potentially on the Formula 1 calendar for 2020, if I'm not mistaken. This is special what is most important here is that the left front will take a big beating here on this track. First of all, Tarzan left-hander, points in the race-long battle with Robert Horvat, and passing around the halfway mark to take his second win in this championship. In the second race here, Neri got the pole position and could start a bit more challenged, although Horvat finished second. These racing drivers on the grid. So driving or racing is as fierce as 2 weeks ago. You have to follow all those screens. So let's another driver here. It's level 1 of drivers for almost all the races. First one in North America, if I'm not mistaken. He's down in 8th position and second behind Pavel at the moment. So trying to get a bit closer here. One of those times in the lap. So some faster lap time for himself. Audi is just just at the end of the lap, just spins it around. Unfortunate, because very unfortunate. Let's have a look here at Ralph Varela. He's going through the chicane, improving on his own times. And let's see if he can move up from 8th position. Finishing up that lap, it's 1:38.1, improving to 5th position for him. We have Manojlovic, he's down in 6th, also improving on his own times. Can he take that last sector improve as well? Will he be getting closer to Pavel, or will he be a lonely pole 4/10 in front of Horvat? This is 7th position for Manojlovic, and I'm seeing Horvat improving in his first sector. This is the battle to 34 seconds to go. Horvat will be able to finish his lap as well. Time goes to 0. It's a qualifying session over for these guys. So Robert Horvat is the only one still trying to set a lap. And here he doesn't improve, and Horvat into the pits, so no faster lap for Robert Horvat. Which means Pavel takes the pole here at Zandvoort, just 2 poles in a row, and takes another point for that in the championship standings for himself and for his team. So that's it for the qualifying session. Pavel Neri on pole, followed by Robert Horvat. And we have 1 minute left to the start of the race. If you have any questions, let us hear it in the comments, and we will try to focus or give some answers on that. Here they are, the 28 cars lining up on the grid to make the start of this 7th race of the championship. I'll be right back. We have Neri on the left and Robert Horvat on the right. What will happen in those first few corners? The drivers have been warned. Be careful in that opening lap with the very narrow circuit. And here we go, underway for 60 minutes. We see Peter Backus going to the middle of the track. Really getting away well, but Robert Hamada is in front. Can he keep it around the outside here? It's in behind. Oh, and a big pile of Maxi's saying they have to tone down the lap times to make the tires last for 30 minutes. So let's see what happens there. Who gets something to the stop for tires. have Robert Horvat 1.2 seconds behind Miri. So we have a 5-car battle here for the top 5, and a 5-car battle for the top 10. So Moravec, Forsberg, Struhar, etc. are joining in. So one long train of cars. But here at the front, it's all a bit more settled. The gaps are a little bit bigger, but Forero in the Bentley, the big Bentley, is really showing his moves and his moves on his Bentley. Of course, Robert doesn't need to win this race here. Just needs to finish in front of more than doing that by using 8th position. This is still outscoring him by just Forsberg, 11th. Second, third as well. Forsberg in 12th, he's following Pavel Markovic, who is into 11th. And that he is points for the team. That's perfect. And just as I was talking about, that's him off the track. Spin and joining 20th position. So to be fought back. That's front light and 20th position. In front of Dora. At this moment, seeing the camber of blocked very well here in this shot. What? How hard are these guys pushing? Of course, a bit difficult for Milanovic. He wants to stay in front, so he's not really at liberty to take these off. Just about manage their pace, but Stefan here is on the outside. Very tricky if you end up there. Very dangerous as well. Nice apex there by David once again. It's in the qualifying session. It's very easy to miss the apexes here. Slide by David there. Just have a look at Horvat, because he's 7 points behind Miri only, so it's about the same gap as Milanovic. doesn't seem like he is getting his car out of that gravel trap, so seems to be the race over for him. Big drama in the Schijfvlak corner, and that's over for Radek Pavlacek. So then we have Nemanja Milanovic moving up to P5. So position finish thrown away there. Milanovic in 5th, very closely followed by Dorge and his teammate Peter Backus. And Batcock hanging just a bit back, but Backus years. Vlastimir Lucas is in 9th, Jas Forsberg in 10th position. Jim Britton in 12th. Gap it seems. Greg Metcalf, he is in 13th. There's quite a bit of a gap. Simon Fillingham all of a sudden making it up to P14. I'm sorry we missed that. It's a big battle behind. Max Haas going for the inside on Pavel Mrnavek and making a pass a stick. Tarzan Bocht, so good action there. Simon Fillingham 14th. Lost opponent, sprint position 18th. Haas, Pavel Mrnavek in 17th. Ross Hartley in 18th position. Morgan Westhoff in 18th. Also very close. Up to Aaron May of 10 seconds. Stefan Riedel is in the right behind together with Clive Perkins. It seems they have collided and dropped backwards to Simon Fillingham. 2 positions. Albertini is in 23rd position and covering from the spin it seems. And we have Nikolai Hartub. We already have a couple of retirements today. Pavlacek, Nedovili, Valentino Rossi and also Paul Hudson. So back to the racing here at the front. Horvat is as close as ever, 2/10 behind Niri. Here's a quick look into turn 1. It's against making a big lunch there. There's still 45 minutes to go. Guys should be able to evaluate last 15 minutes or maybe a bit more. Tire stop. Then it doesn't matter if you're 1/10 quicker or not. If tires last, you will lose positions for sure. So that is the real key to this race. Very important to get some points and move up in the Drivers' Championship. Ferrero is now also really closer. So but that might just be on purpose. Still in that battle with Milanovic, so this is still a 5-car battle here for 5th position. Let's have a look from further front bumper. Going through Tarzan Bocht, a bit wide there by Ferrero. Turned in, heartbreaking here for Hairpin. Very tough, very high curve on the inside as we saw. close as ever to Mihajlovic. After that top 4 there's almost a 10-second gap to these guys here. So top 4 can battle it out among themselves. Otherwise, they're making mistakes. Simply this part of the game. You should have like working on the back on the power, some areas there. Confidence in your car and you're not trying to making the most out of stuff like just back from get a run like Ferrero did on him in the last lap. Get a run on here and see some fireworks. The best run by Ferrero now. Challenge. Like this actually was very good out of the last turn. So difficult to get rid of Ferrero if you can cars last in a good pit stop. So these two guys here really on hot lap 2, so taking their time in the pit stops. They're quickest of all the drivers in and out of the pits. Just push out hell. 2 seconds in the pit stop. That's Mihajlovic dropping back to 18th. Rusty Lucas as well in his countryman. So, as expected, it is a tough race. It is a very difficult circuit. The real challenge for Formula 1 drivers if they race on this track here is really something completely different. A track that very sandy as well, like the track is very slippery. So I'm not sure if the circuit here simulates that, but it's really like the games it's a sandy track. For example, in that way. Once again, there's defense very early. Just back to his position. Now we have some guys in front of him. It's Clive Britton. He's a green lap. He's going to be if you watch the lap from these are the moments that count. You have to try and gain an advantage from lapping traffic if you cannot get lost in a situation. You need to bit of luck and catch traffic and let you run alone. So, in front of you, zero hesitation. Just go through and take the position. So Jim Britton is racing very closely with Metcalf. Let's just have a quick look at this. It's a P45 versus the Porsche. P45 absolutely straight line as we can see here. They go side by side. Britton odds against it. This here is very, very close. I think he has the pace to get past. But as I've said many, many times in this training series and this championship, Metcalf is notoriously hard to pass if he's on his A game. Outside the open, as we tried. Very nicely done. He's now outside for the chicane, and Greg slots in behind. So very nicely done. Well thought out move there by Jim Britton to get past Greg Metcalf, taking advantage of that bit of a straight line speed efficiency of the P45 competency of Greg Metcalf. He's down into 12th position. Simon Finnegan is still in 14th, and Ross Hockey is now in 15th for the last points position. It's still very, very close at the front, and also between Majanovic and is just a little bit further down. Is this any better? It's probably too loud now, maybe. So back to the action, back to the racing action. Alright, great. Sorry guys for that. I hope you could hear something. Not sure what happened there, but my my volume was at 70% in the microphone settings. So back to the racing. Horvat still 3/10 behind Neri, and we are nearing the pit stop cycle. Everybody will be running on fumes on the fuel, and Peter Backus dropping back into 17th position, so that's not good for them in the team's championship, whereas his teammate Manojlovic is still in as Horvat just made the pass on Neri. Sorry, we had to miss that. Neri seems to be going slowly. Yes, I think he has a puncture, or he has a problem with his tires, because he's getting passed by Forero, getting passed by Arella around the outside as well, struggling for grip. Quite sure he will dive into the pits now. Yes, he does. So yes, he does, together with one of the Corvettes, Nikolai Hartup, I think, into the pits. So our race leader, big drama, losing the lead from Robert Horvat, and also Forero getting a spin out of Tarzan Bocht. Not sure if that had to do with tires, but still he is back on the track. Also a little bit twitchy, it seems. No, that looks fine. So as I said, pit stop cycles coming up, and those tires will be at the last of their abilities. So a big drama here now at the moment. I was saying Peter Backus dropped back out of the top 15. Also Manojlovic is now in 17th position, but I think, yes, he is in the pits. So that is not a big problem. Maybe Horvat or Backus was already in the pits as well, but if he was, then he will need to make these tires last for 33-34 minutes. He wants to try and go around the outside there of the back marker. Or no, it's around May. He's racing for position. He's legitimately in front of Peter Backus. He didn't take a pit stop yet, but that's no reason to let him by. So good racing there from Aran May, and unfortunately Peter will be losing some time there due to that. Let's evaluate that situation as it develops in the second half of the race. Max Haas battling with Greg Metcalf now for P9 and P10, following those pit stops of some drivers. And we have 31 minutes to go, so to be safe, the drivers would need to do one more lap to be safe in the second stint and make it until the end. We have Doren in the pits, Badcock in the pits, Ferrero in the pits, Forsberg in the pits. So everything kicking off now. Our leader Robert Horvat and Ralph Arella, they are still running. In third position is then Peter Peck and then Jim Britton, but they're already half a minute behind. So Arella and Horvat making their tires last on good pace, it seems. So they will be the ones to watch to see where they come out when they finished their pit stops. Neri and Ferrero have come out of the pits. Neri is behind Manojlovic. Yes, and Ferrero is yeah, about 4 seconds back, so that gap is a bit bigger than before the pit stops. So very difficult to follow now. Our race leader is in the pits. Also Ralph Arella is in the pits. So let's have a look what that will mean for these drivers. Peter Peck also in the pits. Jim Britton will, I thought, also be coming in, but he stays out. Is this a genius move by Britton, saving his tires, or will they blow on this lap? We will see what happens there. Arella is right in front of Bacchus, of Horvat. So let's see who gets out first. Peter Bacchus got past these two drivers. Horvat already on his way. Now it's Arella going out of the pits. So let's see. Horvat rejoining 4 seconds behind Peter Bacchus, and I'm not exactly sure if he made a pit stop yet or not. He dropped down the field, but not sure if that was due to a pit stop or due to a mistake. What we still have now is Greg Metcalf and Jim Britton have not been in the pits. They are in first and second at the moment, and let's see what they can do. Pavel Neri has rejoined the track behind Nemanja Manojlovic, so he did lose out quite a bit due to his tire situation. Alejandro Ferrero is 2.7 seconds behind him, so still very, very close. These guys here are following Ralph Arella, so this is a three-way battle for what essentially will be fourth spot, I think, assuming Peter Bacchus stays in front of Robert Horvat. Oh, big slide there for Pavel Neri, really trying to do to take the fastest line through that turn. So Bacchus still going, but Britton and Greg Metcalf in the pits, up the checks for some new tires. Now jumping back and forth, and in about 5 minutes we'll have a recap on the current situation of the whole grid. Horvat is closing the gap to Bacchus very slowly now, and Vlastimir Lukas, he is in third position, so pretty good first stint for him. He was in that battle for between top 5 and top 10, but he didn't really have any hairy moments, it seems. as far as I could see, of course. And he's now up into third position, so a great performance by him in the Nissan GTR at the moment. Ralph Arella harassing the back of Vlastimir Lucas. They are 10 seconds behind Horvat and Bakus, and those are also the two championship contenders. So can Peter Bakus take a win in front of Robert Horvat? I'm quite sure he did pit now, because I don't think anyone could make these tires last for 25 minutes, 35 minutes, I'm sorry, which would be a big miracle. So Peter Bakus is in first position on merit, on pace and on strategy, and it will be down to Robert Horvat to get past him. Let's have another view on this very close battle for third position. And the battle behind as well, Manojlovic in the black BMW, followed by Niri and Forero. The gap at the front down to 1.2 seconds. Ooh, very close there by Ralph Arella. And Daniel Badcock is also joining the party, so sorry, David Dore is also joining the party in P8. So we have a battle from 3rd to 8th position. They are within about 3 seconds. Arella going for the inside on the hairpin, but he has to stay behind. Now, can he get some overlap? Oh, that was almost chopping off by Lucas, and that puts that whole train of cars a lot closer. Let's have a quick look here at the front, because Horvat is right on the tail of Peter Bakus. And then let's jump back to this battle here, because this is where it's at. A 6-way battle for 3rd spot. This is what RRLeagues is all about. And as you can see, also up and down the field, everybody has someone to race with. There's almost nobody with a 20-second gap in front and behind. That's very unusual with our grids. Everybody has someone from their skill level to play with, let's say. So that's very nice, and that also means that here at RRLeagues we don't only bring in the fast drivers. We just want the good drivers, the safe drivers. We want some clean and fair racing, and that's all that counts. If that's for 1st position, then great. If that's for 20th position, or 17, like the battle between Britten and Struhad, for example, there are a couple of tenths behind each other. That doesn't really matter. Robert Horvat made the pass on Peter Bakus. He is now in 1st position, so very well done. But now that gap will grow at the front. I think Horvat is a bit quicker. Now we can stay with this battle. Lucas still in front. Can he keep these guys behind? He's not going defensive yet. Can Ralph have a look? No, he can't. Oh, Lucas going wide. Lucas going wide. And that's Ralph Arella through for 3rd spot. Very well done. Waited for the mistake to happen and got the pass done. Now, can he get away? Can he get away from this pack? Or will he have to defend? It seems he has already a bit of a gap to Lucas. So he will be able to eke out a bit of a gap and look after his tires, which is the most important thing at the moment. Lucas now has to defend from Manojlovic. He's getting past. Oh, very wide there by Lucas, getting passed by 3 drivers, 4 drivers if Dore gets past. No, 3 drivers, 4 in total in half a lap. So not the lap that Lucas wanted to drive here with 20 minutes to go. And the gap at the front already 2.5 seconds. So Horvat really taking an advantage, and well, it's unfortunate for Niri. He had the pace to beat Horvat, but well, taking a little bit too much out of his tires at the end of that racing stint. As we can see here, Arella eking out that gap, and Daniel Badcock here at the end of that group in the black and purple Audi. He wants to join this party for sure, so he wants to get that little bit of time back. He is about 3 seconds back, almost 4 seconds back on David Dore, but everything still to play for. Robert Horvat also setting a fastest lap, 1:38.5. That's 3/10 up on the fastest lap of Pavel Niri, and quite a bit up on all of the other drivers. So, what is the current racing order? Let's have a quick look as this battle keeps raging on. We have Robert Horvat in first position, followed by Peter Backus. He made a good strategy call and made his way up to second position. Now can he keep it, because he's already 5 seconds down on Horvat, and the gap to Arella behind is closing. So Arella in third spot, we saw that. Nemanja Manojlovic already 3 seconds behind. He is now at the front of this pack, followed by Pavel Niri and Alejandro Forero, followed by Vlastimir Lucas. Let's just have a look. Oh, Lucas coming into the pits for tires, I presume, or a penalty maybe. That puts David Dore up into P8, Daniel Badcock in, or P7, Daniel Badcock in P8, and Jas Forsberg in 9th, Jim Britton in 10th position. Lucas in the pits, he's in 11th now. Petr Peck in 12th. Then Simon Fillingham in 13th position, battling hard with Greg Metcalf and Max Haas. So also for these spots it's very, very tight. Can Greg take advantage of his superior grip? Oh, well, he can. A mistake by Fillingham there puts him down into P14. Luckily he can continue his way, and the gap to P15 is still 11 seconds. So can he get back to that group with Max Haas and Greg Metcalf? That we will have to see. 15th for Lucas, 16th for Morten Roslev, then Stefan Riedel is right behind him in 17th spot. Thomas Struhar not too far back in the BMW, 18th. Aaron May in 19th. Albertini in 20th position, just being lapped here by Robert Horvat. Clive Britton in 21st in the 4GT, and Nikolai Hartub in 22nd position. All the other drivers have retired from the race, so that's a shame, but we still have 22 drivers in the running. Let's have a look here. Greg Metcalf and Max Haas very, very close. And Greg down into P13. There's still this battle raging on with Manojlovic, Niri, Forero and Dore. And also Ralph Arella just took 2 seconds out of Peter Backus in those last 2 laps, so that will be one to watch as well for the end of the race. Ralph Arella, of course, with a clear track, so oh, and another 2 seconds out of him, so we'll have to see what happens there. Of course, Backus in that case pitted quite early. We didn't see him pit with all the other front runners, so that means that he will have to look after his tires a bit more here at the end of this second stint. And these drivers here are doing great. A 60-minute race is nothing short of spectacular. Peter Backus in the pits, yes, saw that correctly. So he's making a 2-stop strategy, just like Vlastimir Lukas, it seems. So that's why we didn't see him pit, and he dropped back earlier in the race. So that puts Ralph Arella in 2nd position. Robert Horvat in 1st, of course. So then this battle here is for essentially the last podium spot, and that's the one that everybody wants, of course. Let's see what happens here. As I was saying, a 60-minute race is not easy. It's not easy to keep concentration for 60 minutes. As a sim racer, you are racing, but you are working on your strategy at the same time, maybe making some in-car adjustments, thinking about how you configured your setup to predict how your car will be handling at the end of your stint if you weren't able to test it. So all of those things you need to do as a sim racer, and in this 60-minute race, it's not easy to keep concentration. And then in 2 weeks' time we have another big challenge for the end of this season, the big finale at the Nürburgring Nordschleife for a 95-minute race, which is, well, a 2-stopper normally. But if you see the guys struggling here with to last for 30 minutes here around Zandvoort, what will it be on the Nordschleife? Also, that track is not very kind to your tires. So was the same at Spa. The drivers will need to make their tires last for about 32-33 minutes to be safe. So that will be a tough call as well. And it's a long lap around the Nordschleife. So if you blow a tire, you will lose a lot of spots and probably finish outside of the points. So this is our closest on-track battle, obviously. We also have Morten Roslev right behind Simon Fillingham for the last points-paying position. And I just wanted to look at the team's championship. Well, what is happening there? So we have Robert Horvat in 1st, where is his teammate Pavel Moravec. Did he retire from the race? He did not. I can't seem to find him. Maybe look on the other screen. Very weird. Well, there are 27 drivers on the grid, so or on my screen, so it could be that he just left the server, which of course means he's not scoring any points. So HM Racing has the points for Robert Horvat. What kind of points does Let's Kick Some Racing have? They have Nemanja Manojlovic in 3rd and Peter Backus in 14th. So that will just about equal these two teams on points, if I'm not mistaken. Which brings everything down to the last race, where 66 points are up for grabs for the race winner. So still everything to play for. Also, Jas Forsberg here. He is in a tight battle with Jim Britton. The car behind is a lapped car. I think it's Clive Britton in this case, but Audi versus Porsche, just like at Le Mans. The old Audi working quite well here, and Jim Britton in front. We'll have to see what happens in the next 10 minutes and see what will be done there. We'll be right back with you. Let's stay with this battle, and as we dive into the last 10 minutes of this 60-minute race, see you in a bit. So we are back for the last 7 minutes of this race. We're just following a battle with Stefan Riedl, Struhar and Aaron May. They are not racing for points. Oh, that's Aaron May off the track. Oh, rejoins quite quickly. That's good for him, but he loses the positions. So that's May in 19th, Stefan Riedl in 18th, and Struhar in 17th position. Going back to this battle at the front, are these guys taking too much out of their tires? Is there any hope for example, Daniel Badcock in 7th, Jim Britton in 8th, if these guys are, well, nearing the end of their tire life in the next few minutes? We will have to see. Also, the same question goes for the front of the field. 15 seconds between Robert Horvat and Ralph Arella, but if it goes wrong at the wrong moment, that gap will melt as snow for the sun. So still some suspense here in this race. Maybe not for the front of the field. I expect Arella and Horvat to manage their tire wear quite well, but here it's all a whole different ball game. These guys are battling already for half an hour, and if you're David Dore and you see third spot so close, about 1 second in front, you really want to go for it. As a racer, you need to do that. So will be nice to see if there are any ballsy moves in the last few laps here. We have 5 minutes to go. Horvat just started another lap, so I think we still have 3 or maybe even 4 laps to go. Let's ride on board with David Dore from the dashcam. It's not close enough, but the guys in front almost tripping over each other. Maybe it's wise for David to just hang back a little bit and take advantage of any contacts these guys might have. Maybe Ferrero, if you are too close to someone. Oh, as I expected, well, expected not, but as I predicted, maybe we have Neri rejoining the track unsafely. I hope he gets up to speed soon. Oh, Jim Britton tries to get through around the outside into Schervlak. Oh, very, very close. Neri keeps the position for now. So Pavel Neri and Nemanja Manojlovic colliding, coming out of the hairpin and losing some spots. Neri now down into 7th, Nemanja Manojlovic in 5th position, and this gives Ferrero sight on his first podium spot, and that's a big statement. I'm not sure, but I think it's his first podium spot, at least in the GT3 series, if I'm not mistaken. David Dore is right behind. Who was kindest to the tires? That will be the key here. The gap is only 1 second. Can David Dore get close and take a podium spot here in the Zandvoort race of the GTR3 Championship? That will be one to watch. Jim Britton still behind Pavel Neri, and Peter Bakos is also racing closely with Greg Metcalf for 13th and 14th position. So even at the end of the race, still many battles to be fought. Daniel Badcock then, he gained some spots. He gained a spot due to Neri's incident with Manojlovic. Not sure what happened there. I think there was some overlap, and then no room was given. But of course, it's always difficult to judge where another car is, especially if you're racing on a single screen setup, like a lot of drivers are doing, of course, in sim racing. In any case, we have 2 minutes to go. Horvat is nearing another lap completed. He starts a new lap now with a 1:41. He sets, so slower lap times, of course. So we still have 2 laps to go for our race leader. Oh, Pavel Neri defending from Jim Britton, a bit unorthodox through the chicane, but he is still in front. Can Jim get the power down through the last turn and make a move? Let's ride on board with the Porsche. Also, the gap between Manojlovic and Badcock is only 0.8 of a second. It doesn't seem like David Dore is able to get close to Ferrero for that podium spot though. Onto the power for Jim Britton. The very nice sound of the Porsche 911. Going through Schijfvlak once again. What's left in those tires? That's the question. The race is still 35 seconds, so we will be doing one more lap unless Robert Horvat slows down a lot. Can Jim put his car on the inside here? Oh, quite a bit of a squeeze there by Neri. Really defending quite hard, going a bit too deep now into this turn. Oh, and Jim wanted to do the same as he did to Greg, but he went a bit too wide and lost the momentum out of the turn. And Max Haas, he is behind Vlastimir Lukas. No. Oh, he's behind Petr Pek, sorry. Trying to get past in the chicane, but he can't at the moment. And let's have a look at Badcock and Manojlovic. Audi versus BMW. The straight is of course here. The straight here is not too long, so slipstreaming is a bit limited for sure. And our race timer has gone to 0. This is the very last lap of the race. And let's have a look. We have David Dore 8 tenths behind Ferrero now. Let's follow them around for just a little bit, as we will be joining our race winner, and putting a firm grip on that Drivers' Championship trophy is Robert Horvat, taking another win. So he didn't win any races at Portimao, but he's back to winning form here at Zandvoort. Big congratulations to Robert Horvat for this race win here at Zandvoort. Ralph Arella is in second position, and it's these two drivers battling for the #1 spot on the ranking. Ralph Arella is in first position now, but if Horvat keeps performing like this, it will be very close in the next few weeks. Alejandro Ferrero then, he will take the last podium spot in this race, followed very closely by David Dore. Then it's Nemanja Manojlovic. He was able to stay in front of Jim Britton, yes, and it seems Jim got past Pavel, who dropped back a bit, so maybe an incident there. But Britton in 6th, Badcock in 7th, Forsberg in 8th position, Neri in 9th position, followed by Max Haas very closely. Petr Pek is right behind. Also Vlastimir Lukas is right there. Greg Metcalf in 13th, just holding off Peter Backus, who is in 14th. Then Simon Fillingham taking probably a point for the team, but Morten Roslev is not going to let that happen if he can help it. Let's see who gets across the line first. Yeah, that will be Simon Fillingham taking 15. Morten Roslev so close to the points, but just a bit too slow at the end. Stefan Riedel in 17th, Aran May in 18th position. And here are the total standings. Fastest lap by Robert Horvat, 1:38.5, as we said, was at Aran May in 18th, Struar in 19th, Britton in 20th position, Albertini then in 22nd, Moravec in 23rd. He DNF'd as we saw him leaving the server. Hockey in 24th, Pavlacek 25th, Willy 26th, and Rossi in 27th. Paul Hudson finished in last position, and I don't think he set a lap in this race, so very unfortunate but he is in P28. Then all what is left for me is to invite you for our last race of the championship in 2 weeks' time. We will be traveling to the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and we are set there for a 95-minute race, 66 points up for grabs for the race winner. Not sure if the championship or if the Drivers' Championship is still up for grabs. Robert Horvat might have taken it, but if you want to find out, just join us in 2 weeks' time for a new stream of RRLeagues Racing. If you want to race with us, just look us up on Facebook or go to our website rrleagues.com. You can find all the info there. Also join us on Discord, and you can ask any questions you might have there, and everybody will be more than happy to help you out. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. See you in 2 weeks' time or on the track very soon, and see you later.